Hi everyone, Professor Gustin here, and this video is for anyone who just wants some extra pointers on how to study for the exam. I can give you, just a few steps. The first step is get out your lecture study guides. You see, I have my lecture study guides in hard copies as opposed to just reading off my computer. And I do that for a couple reasons. One is I can look at it wherever I am. I can bring it along with me. The other one is it's really easy to get distracted by other things when you're on your computer. So it's really nice to have a hard copy. And you can also easily write and correct things and check things off in a hard copy. You should have already taken, you should have already taken note, watched the lecture videos and taken notes. Now you can write those notes right on this handout, or you could have written them on a separate piece of paper. So either way, you kind of want to cover up your notes and as you're looking at the learning outcomes. Now, for this exam, it says down here under exam number 2 that we're going to be looking at weeks 4, 5, and 6. So I'm at week 4, which is tissues, organ systems, and homeostasis. And so the next step to study this is to look at those learning outcomes. And it says under 4.1, number 1, understand where tissues fall in the biological levels of organization. So the first thing you have to do is, what are the biological levels of organization? We did this earlier in the semester. So practice that. Atoms, molecules, cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, organism. If you can't do that, I highly recommend saying it out loud like I just did. If you can't say it out loud, go look at your notes and refresh your memory. Cover up your notes and try it again. Atoms, molecules, cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, organism. Practice it again. And if you get it down, check it off. Now you'll notice in the list under vocabulary, tissue is one of your vocabulary words. So what does tissue actually mean? And so you should have a definition written somewhere that a tissue is a collection of similar cells performing a common function. Tissue is a collection of similar cells performing a common function. Okay, if you've got that down, check it off. If you can't remember that, don't check it off yet. Go look at your notes, practice it again, and come back to it. The next one says describe the 4 major classes of tissues and provide a general function for each. First thing you need to do is, what are the 4 general classes of tissues? So again, this is something you would have memorized. And you can practice that. Epithelial, connective, muscle, nervous. If you can name the 4 tissue types, check off that part of the answer. Muscle, epithelial, connective, nervous. Make sure you can do that. Now it says, what's a general function for each? Okay, a general function. Muscle, it's contractile tissue, so it moves things. Nervous tissue, it's tissue that can conduct electrical signals and help the body communicate. Let's see, what do we got? Epithelial. Epithelial, epi means above. It's on the surface of things. Epithelial tissues are the tissues that cover and protect surfaces of inside and outside the body. And then connective tissue, the 4th kind. Connective tissue stores fat, fills spaces, binds things together. That's it. That's all you need to know about those. And so if you look at the vocabulary words, you can practice that again. What's a tissue? What's connective tissue? What's muscular tissue? Say the answers out loud. Once you have all those kind of committed to memory, give yourself a little check on all of those on your handout. Time to go to the next one. Describe the general structure of connective tissues. What did you learn about connective tissues? If I look in the vocabulary words, there's something about ground substance and fibers, matrix, collagen fibers, and elastic fibers. So what did you learn in the lecture video that makes connective tissues different from the others and uses those vocabulary words? So you want to look at the outcome, see how much of it you can state out loud, look at the vocabulary, see how many of those you can state out loud. Check them off as you remember them, And then you can go back to the ones that are harder, that you're not remembering easily, and come back to them. So do that kind of practice as you're going down this whole sheet. Okay, and practice each of those learning outcomes. Practice the vocabulary. Practice them by saying them out loud. Check things off that you're sure you got. Leave the ones blank that you're not sure. If you realize you don't really understand it, you can go look it up. You can look in your book. You can Google it. You can go back and watch a video. You can ask me. There's all sorts of ways to get the information. So sit there with these handouts, practice, practice, practice. Now, there's a lot of learning outcomes. So one of the things that really surprises people is how long it takes to study. It takes time. So you need to put in time. It doesn't mean you have to do it all in like a 4 hour period, because what you're going to do is you're going to burn yourself out. You want to do it in 30-minute time slots here and there, or 1 hour time slots, and take a break and then come back to it. Or do a 1 hour this morning, do 1 hour this afternoon, those kind of things. So spreading out your studying, and as you're going through these and you see all the checks that you've got, you're really making progress, and then you just keep going back to the ones that you don't have checked off. That's all you need to do. I know it sounds like, oh, that's all. That's a lot to do. It takes a while to remember things. I can't remember if I mentioned this before, but I'm learning to crochet, and I can't believe how hard crochet is. There's these people that just do 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 and they crochet. I'm finding it really difficult, and it's a real, it's really a challenge for me. And so when I crochet one day, and then I come back the next day, I realize, oh, it's just a little bit easier. And I thought, well, there's no way I can even watch TV while I crochet. It's so complicated. Oh, guess what? The next day I had the TV on and it didn't bother me because the crocheting starting to get a little bit easier. Learning is the same way. Learning anything. You're going to get better at learning, and the more you learn specific information, it's going to stick in your mind better. But trying to do it all at once and expecting to be an expert at it in a short period of time is not realistic. So if you're making flashcards, you're doing all sorts of things, going back in the book, doing all this retesting, all that, and I'd spent all this time. Did you use your study guides and just go down and check off what you got right? Cover up the answers, see what you can say out loud. You don't need to make all these fancy flashcards and do all sorts of extra stuff. Go with your study guides. So put in the time, take good notes, and ask questions when you need help. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to be more helpful. And good luck on exam number 2.